Luke, I'm going to ask you to make a brief opening statement and then we'll open it up for questions. Thanks for being with us.
Appreciate it, Paul. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me. First off, just want to say super excited to play in Indy. I know growing up as a kid, just watching that game and just watching how electric the environment is, it was something I dreamed about of playing in as a young kid, and now we have the opportunity to. So I'm just super thankful and super excited.
All right, let's take some questions. Our first question of the afternoon will go to Tim May. Tim, go ahead.
Thanks, Paul. I finally figured out how to work this. Hey, Luke, what is the sense of you guys coming out of that game on Saturday? The offensive line with that 20 play drive. I mean, what just feels different about this team, this offense right now headed into the championship game in terms of the way y'all started the year, but the way you're rolling right now?
Yeah, I just think it goes back to making just doing the routine things routinely, practice and just keeping the routine, doing everything, and then in practice we're big on just the fundamentals and the technique and stuff like that. So I think we've come a long way throughout the year.
Our next question is from Bill Landis.
Luke, did you feel like you guys took a step against Michigan? I know offensive line is always sort of an evolving thing and a process that, people would hope hits in the first game, but always takes a couple of games to kind of gel. Just what kind of stride do you think you guys found in that Michigan game?
Yeah, I think we learned a lot about ourselves in that game and what we're capable of. There's been a lot of ups and downs throughout the season, as a unit, as an offense, and stuff like that. And I think we took a great step in a great direction this past weekend.
Our next question is from Bill Rabinowitz.
Luke, probably the game you needed most was beating Michigan. You did that. Obviously, you have the playoff ahead of you. That's the biggest goal. Where does this kind of fit? It's been 5 years since Ohio State won the Big Ten championship. How important is this one?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really important. Obviously, every game's important. At this point, we got to win them all. Obviously, we know that. So, the Big Ten championship is next, and we put ourselves in place to play great against a great team, and it's going to be a lot of fun on Saturday. And our motto is just go 1-0 every week, and they're the next team standing in the way of our goals.
Next question is from Kyle Babcock.
Luke, I always love it when the offensive linemen get the credit here, get on these Zooms because it's so happen quite a lot, but it's always great to have you guys on. But compare and contrast. I asked Coach Day this kind of last year national champion. You guys are number one this year. How kind of similar or different is this team this year versus last year?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think there's a lot of similarities and a lot of differences. Similarities from the fact that obviously we have tremendous players all over the place, and that's great. And then, differences, new coaches, new players, and new positions, and then just different personalities on the offense and defense. And, just going back from spring ball to the summer workouts and stuff, I think our team was as close already in spring ball, if not closer than we were as a team last year. And we've grown a lot just through this year, and we're a very close-knit group, and we have a lot of fun playing football.
Our next question is from Dan Hope.
Luke, how special did it feel to not just beat Michigan, but to do it in that way by running the ball and really doing it physically?
Yeah, that super special. I had the opportunity to talk to Jenny Taft a couple days before, and just growing up as an Ohio kid, playing in Ann Arbor, not only just playing in Ann Arbor, but just imagining the snowfall, the 20 degrees, and then playing a physical cowboy brand of football. I mean, it was a dream. It was a dream that came to reality. Just everything. It was so cool and just an amazing experiment. Just an amazing experience that I get to cherish for the rest of my life.
Next question is from Andy Anders.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have asked you about the Michigan performance, obviously, but kind of going off that, Ryan Day called it maybe the best offensive line performance he's seen. I don't know if he was talking about this year or maybe his entire coaching career. 43 knockdowns for the offensive line is the number he gave. Just what was your thoughts on imposing your will, and did you start to see, I guess, Michigan start to bend the defensive front over the course of the game?
Yeah, I think it just started in practice, throughout the week and stuff like that. Just having physical practices, and I don't think a lot of people get to talk about the scout team a lot, but our scout team has done a tremendous job all year. The defensive line, linebackers, the DBs, they've done an amazing job, and obviously all the coaches helping out with that. So, they helped us out a lot going into this Saturday. And just kind of back to your question, you know, I don't know. It was a lot of fun. That's kind of how I put it. Like we're playing a kids game and just have fun doing it. You don't need to blink when you go out there. You've already put all the work in, and we get to play the best defense every week in practice and stuff like that. So why would you blink when you have the opportunity to play?
Again, a reminder, if you'd like to ask a question, please raise your hand in the Zoom chat. Our next question is from Stefan Kreisnig.
Hey Luke, I had a bit of a two-part question about Carson. What's it been like for you watching him, go through everything he's gone through and develop, the last couple of years and get to this point? And the second part, how many times did you have to remind him to keep him accountable for the bet that you guys had and him having to pay it?
Oh, the second question. It took me about 2 weeks. He made that bet a couple weeks ago, and after we graded out champion, I made sure I held him to it, and I made him actually schedule an appointment the Friday before the Rutgers game. I said, "You better do this now because we're not gonna have any time next week." So, he held true to that, and it's a lot of respect for him doing that. I think it looks great. Some people think it's terrible. I think it's awesome. Just your first question, I think I'm a big believer in like when you have adversity in your life, you learn a lot from that, and that's what Carson's done. He's done a tremendous job. He's been through a lot, and I lean on him during times because I'm pretty new into my career of starting games and stuff like that, and he's been through a lot. So just to have him as obviously one of my best friends on the team, and obviously play next to him, I get to learn a lot from him. I'm just super blessed to have him by my side, and he's an amazing dude.
Got time for a couple more for Luke. Our next question goes to Christopher Heidel.
Hi, Luke. This is Chris Heidel from Hermiston Radio in Baltimore. Just talk about this coming Saturday. You guys are I don't want to say the home team, but you're basically playing in a state that everybody loves, Indiana football. So how are you going to keep all the noise and out of that Lucas Oil Stadium that you guys could focus on winning the game?
Yeah, I mean, every week we play in environments like that. Obviously at Michigan this past weekend. It was a pretty toxic environment. So that's obviously going to help us going into this week. I don't know how many people from Ohio State or Indiana is going to be there. I'm assuming it's going to be close 50-50, but we're gonna prepare like it's going to be 100-0 with a lot of Indiana people being there.
Next question is from Patrick Murphy.
Hey Luke, it was about this time a year ago when you really started to come on. What can you draw from the experience of playing in the postseason now in this game and beyond?
Yeah, you hit on the nail. Just the experience part. Obviously playing great teams in the past, and I got a lot of respect for Indiana, just their players and their coaches and what they've done. It's been a lot of fun watching them on film this year and just watching them on TV and stuff like that. So, it's going to be a hostile environment. It's going to be a difficult game, but that's why you come to Ohio State to play in those games like that, and it's going to be a lot of fun Saturday night. And just kind of alluding back to your question, just the experience part from this past year, playing national championship games and all those games against great teams. It's another one of those, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Our next question is from Joey Kaufman. Joey, go ahead.
Luke, what is it like been the last few weeks to block for Bo Jackson the way he's going to come on here?
We got a special group of running backs. Coach Locke does a great job. But Bo's one of the most talented running backs I've actually ever seen play at that age in general. He's a very gifted athlete, and I think he doesn't. I don't think he knows that yet. For what he all can do. But it's been a lot of fun just watching him, Zay, James, and CJ run the ball. A lot of good things happen, and we have four guys that can run the ball and split reps like that. It helps us out a lot, and it keeps them fresh. So it's really been fun watching them, and obviously watching Bo.
Time for one more question for Luke. Our last question will go to Tony Gerdeman.
Luke, it took the offensive line a while last year to find its ultimate footing. Do you guys feel like you're there now already?
I think it's a new week every week. We were there last week. We got to be there again this week. It's all about consistency, especially in late November and December when you get into the big games. And we just got to continue to grow and continue to practice and just continue to be consistent in our play.
Luke, thank you very much for joining us. Good luck this week. We look forward to seeing you in Indianapolis.
Thank you, Paul.